Put a carrot in your peace lily. Your plants will bloom like never before. Fertilizing houseplants is key to their health and lush growth. Without the right nutrients, plants lose vitality, leaves turn yellow, and flowering becomes rare. Instead of chemical fertilizers, make a natural carrot-based plant food. It's an easy and affordable way to nourish your plants without harmful substances. Chop 1 carrot into small pieces. Carrots are rich in vitamins and minerals that support plant growth and health, containing phosphorus, potassium, and calcium. Place the chopped carrot into a blender and add a liter of water. Blend until smooth. Before watering your plants, strain the mixture through a sieve. Avoid using the pulp, as vegetable leftovers can attract unwanted insects. Use this liquid fertilizer every 15 days to water your peace lily or other houseplants. Soon, you'll notice greener leaves, stronger roots, and more frequent vibrant blooms. Embrace natural care methods and enjoy beautiful, healthy plants all year round. 1 spoonful of this syrup is enough to make your monstera grow into a healthy, lush plant. Start by using garlic, a natural remedy with incredible properties. Prepare 4 garlic cloves and slice them thinly. Garlic acts as a natural protector against pathogens that can weaken plants. Place the sliced garlic cloves into a 1-liter jar and pour in warm water. Then add 1 spoonful of honey. Honey boosts immunity and helps plant regeneration. Stir well, seal the jar, and let it sit for a few hours. During this time, the ingredients infuse into the water, creating a powerful natural elixir for your plant. After a few hours, strain the liquid into a larger jar and dilute it with 1 liter of water. Your natural syrup is now ready. Use it to water your monstera, providing essential nutrients that will quickly restore its vitality. To clean the monstera leaves, soak a cotton pad in the syrup and gently wipe them. This helps remove pests while strengthening the plant externally. Apply this syrup every few weeks, and your monstera will reward you with lush growth, glossy leaves, and a healthy appearance. This is how geraniums are awakened in spring after wintering in a cardboard box and a paper bag. Some cuttings were kept in the basement, while others were stored in a cool room in a closet. Regardless of the place and method of storage, they now need to be cleaned. Geraniums that overwintered in pots require the least effort. A geranium that had limited watering before winter and was more thoroughly cleaned of leaves and stems is already green. It has new leaves and stems. Another one, which was brought in from the terrace later, is just beginning to wake up. First, remove the dried leaves and stems, and then keep it in a bright room, watering it lightly from time to time. Geraniums stored in a paper bag have started to grow new stems in areas exposed to light. Unfortunately, since the basement was dark, these new shoots are pale and weak. They shouldn't have appeared yet. These should also be thoroughly cleaned of any dried leaves still attached. Dry stems should be cut off with pruning shears. Almost all the stems are dry, so I trim the geraniums very short. The condition of geraniums in spring largely depends on how healthy the cuttings were before winter. Soak the cleaned cuttings in water. You can leave them in water overnight or at least for a few hours. Then simply plant them in a box with suitable soil. Do not water the geraniums immediately, as they have just been removed from the water. Place them on a windowsill, but in very sunny spring weather, it's best to shield them from strong light. Mist the soil once a week or every 2 weeks and observe how the geranium grows. The geranium in the cardboard box overwintered better than the cuttings in the paper bag, but only because it was in excellent condition before winter. It was one of several geraniums that grew in separate pots. The cuttings in the cardboard box and the paper bag were stored in the same basement under the same conditions. Throughout the winter, their roots were only moistened twice. Now, it's just a matter of waiting to see if the flowers will be as beautiful as last year. Add to water and water the peonies. It's the best spring fertilizer for peonies. And soon the peonies will be covered in flowers in return. At this time of year, peonies start to sprout. Here's how beautifully their shoots start to grow. Spring is the right time to start fertilizing them. They are coming to life, and you can provide them with better conditions with the right fertilizer. In a few weeks, you will admire beautiful buds. They will increase every day. Then they will only bloom and smell beautiful. No one can pass by their flowers indifferently. Although they bloom briefly, it's hard to resist their charm. That's why it's worth taking care of them to make them even more beautiful this year. You can make this simple fertilizer anytime. It's best to water the peonies with it from early spring. All you need is a bucket of warm water. Prepare a fertilizer in it that will provide the peonies with the necessary nutrients for growth. It will strengthen their roots and stimulate flowering. Dissolve a cube of yeast in 10 liters of warm water. Leave it for an hour to dissolve and then water the peonies. This non-fermented yeast fertilizer is simple and quick to prepare. If you make fertilizer with yeast and sugar, then leave such fertilizer for a week. After this time, dissolve 1 cup in 10 liters of water and only then water the peonies. Just 1 tablespoon of this mixture, and your peace lilies will grow like never before. My plants finally stopped getting sick, their roots became stronger, and the flowers are now beautiful and healthy. Thanks to this fertilizer, houseplants develop large, lush green leaves. It also boosts the number of buds and shoots in flowering plants. This homemade mixture contains all the essential nutrients: potassium, phosphorus, calcium, silicon, zinc, and more. To prepare it, you'll need rice in a blender or coffee grinder. Grind the rice into rice flour. Meanwhile, prepare a jar. Add 1 teaspoon of rice flour and 1 teaspoon of sugar to the jar. Heat 2 cups of water and pour it over the mixture. Close the jar and let it sit for 3 days. Before using, dilute it. Mix 1 part fertilizer with 5 parts water. You can store the remaining mixture for later use. Now, water your plants with this solution and wait for the results. I'm sure you'll notice how quickly they grow and bloom. This natural fertilizer makes my flowers grow like crazy. It contains everything flowers need. I can use it on any plant in the house. My plants have finally stopped getting sick, and their roots have strengthened. The flowers are beautiful and healthy. Thanks to this fertilizer, potted plants have large green leaves. It increases the number of buds and shoots in flowering plants. This homemade mixture contains all the essential elements: potassium, phosphorus, calcium, silicon, zinc, and others. To prepare it, you'll need rice and either a blender or a coffee grinder. Start by making rice flour from the rice. Meanwhile, get a jar ready. Put a teaspoon of rice flour into the jar. Add 1 teaspoon of sugar. Heat 500 milliliters of water. Pour the hot water over the mixture in the jar. Close the jar and let it sit for 3 days. After this time, strain the mixture through a fine sieve. Dilute it. Add 500 milliliters of water for every 100 milliliters of fertilizer. You can save the rest of the jar's contents for later use. Now, water your plants with this mixture and wait for the results.